My sisters and brothers, beautiful people, we are confronting serious issues in our country, church, and the world that I, as your bishop and as a humble follower of Jesus Christ, must address. Whenever we are faced with gross injustice, senseless violence, and harmful inequalities, as Christians we must stand and act. I am so grateful for all your efforts to protest, to advocate, and to work for justice, and to raise your voices against the tragic murder of George Floyd and our other black sisters and brothers. The multiple acts of violence against black men and women occurs almost daily. And in the past few months, we have all witnessed it. Anti-black aggression from those entrusted with the responsibility to serve and protect. Ours is a broken society. But it is not broken beyond repair. I called upon Wisconsin United Methodist to become racial justice activists, to engage in meaningful conversations and activities that promote equal treatment, reparation, and healthy intercultural relationship. The words from Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 through 8 comes to mind. For everything there is a season, a time for every matter under heaven, and a time to be born, and a time to die, a time to plant and time to pluck up what is planted, time to kill and time to heal, a time to break down and time to build up, and a time to weep and a time to laugh, and a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to throw away stone, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek, a time to lose, a time to give and time to throw away, a time to tear, and a time to sow, and a time to keep silence, and a time to speak, and a time to love, and a time to hate, and time for war, and a time for peace. And now is the time to hear. Now is the time to speak out. Now is the time to embrace and join together. Now is the time to build up. And now is the time to reject white privilege, racial injustice, prejudice, and bigotry. Now is the time for our churches to actively engage in holy conferencing around racial, ethnic relationship and behaviors. The key to changing the world is to begin the changing hearts and minds. A Jewish midrash declares for God's justice, he or she who kills one person destroys the world. And this is a powerful reminder that the lives of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd and Rayshard Brooks, and hundreds of other black men and women are sacred, and each violent death works to destroy our world and peace that God intends for us all. I want to call upon our clergy and laity leaders truly to lead a movement for awakening and action. The first, to have conversations about race within your congregation or your own fellowship. Talk about what people think and fear, and talk about what has happened in our country now and throughout the past. The second, to read and pray and study books on issues of racial injustice, white supremacy, and white privilege, economic and educational inequalities, and systems of oppression that perpetuate our brokenness. For example, how to be an anti-racist, or Dear White Christians, or the new Jim Crows, and we want to do more than survive. And those are excellent resources to begin with, and a prayerful way together. The third, connect and engage with the persons of colors and community agencies that address issues of racial and economic injustice in your own community. Actively seek partnership and learning opportunities beyond the world of your own local church. I am confident that any church that chooses to engage in these three simple suggestions will begin to feel the power of the Holy Spirit that enables faithful disciples to participate in the transformation of the world. The God's Spirit is moving powerfully in our countries and our world to wake us up to the violence and inequality our system imposes on racial ethnic minorities. May God's Spirit move through our churches in this post-Pentecostal period as well. Blessings.